Yeah, it's been a while since you've done it, so just like when you're at 76 and you're nice and stabilised, kind of take a glance out the windows and see where the runway is. If you see too much runway on one side, it means you're too far left or
so last time you told me to look down, I saw runway, which you told me that meant that I was off center.
Right, so, exactly. Yep. Nope, there's a Cessna landing, so we're going to keep this open. It's a Cessna, let's see how long he floats.
2 hours later.
10 miles to the east.
Still going?
How long is this going to take?
Oh, there's a balloon!
Things are ugly, man.
Yeah, seriously.
This looks so much better, these low wings.
Absolutely, you know, and that's why I've taken you on as a student. We're on the correct runway, my heel's down to the floor, so you're just using the bottom part, so no more brakes. Nice, smooth, full power. A little bit more left, there you go. You were anticipating the left turn
a little bit too much.
There you go, and just give me a little bit of right. There you go, and just hold it. 65, just nice, easy pullback. A little bit more. There you go. Welcome to the sky, man.
Welcome back to the motherfucking sky. Is it windy or is it?
It's a little bit windy. Okay. It's a little bit windy, yeah. But this is nice. Look down to your left. Can you see any runway? No runway?
No.
Cool.
Yeah, like the last 50 feet I was on.
Right, yeah.
You know, the whole time.
Yeah, it's the last 50 feet that counts. First time in about 3 months. Jesus, crazy, isn't it?
Feels like 3 years, dude, honestly.
Yeah, it does. It does. Looking good though, man. You look relaxed. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Are you feeling relaxed?
No. You don't smell it yet, but I've already I'm kidding. Nah, man, I'm super happy to be back, dude.
Yeah,
I missed it. Yeah. So hopefully it's a little more consistent now.
Yeah, hopefully.
I find enough wigs and stuff to change my hairstyle every week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Shave it off for next time.
You just introduce me as a new student every time.
Exactly, yeah. Just keep going through the alphabet. This is JD, this is JC.
Then JD1. Bro, you start adding numbers after. Other than Mike, you got any new students?
Not new, no. So I got you, Mike, and Gareth.
Yeah.
And that's it at the moment. That's basically my limit right now.
3 Stooges.
Yep, exactly. Which one's the worst? You decide.
That's for you.
Yeah, it's a little bit clearer over this way. Give me that head.
Make up your mind, man.
180 this way.
Not back this way. We're almost at 3,000.
Roger. Yeah, we can cap it off at 3,000. That should work. Low pocket traffic, Piper Cherokee, 3,000 feet west shore, Lake Popka. Slow flight, Lake Popka traffic. Alright, man. Mike controls.
Controls.
I'm going to give you an indication of the slow flight, and we're just going to do one bit of slow flight. It's going to be slow flight dirty, so it's with flaps.
Okay.
Cool. So we made our radio calls, and it's southbound. Alright, 3,000 feet. So I'm going to pull the power back to 1,700 RPM.
1,700.
Right. I'm holding altitude, but I'm pulling back a little bit.
So you're already keeping a little bit of pressure.
Already keeping. Now, when you start to add flaps, it helps you. Like I can go hands off, and it helps me maintain because it's added lift. We're going to add another notch of flaps. We're going below 70 knots, still at 3,000 feet, still on 150. Last notch of flaps. I'm keeping some back pressure, and I'm going at 2,000 RPM. And I'm just holding it and see what it does for me. So I can see my altitude's gone down a little bit, so I need to add a little bit of power.
Okay.
From that. And from there we can look
You always want to maintain a little pitch up.
Little pitch up, yeah. That's what's going to help you. It's the relationship between pitch and power. So there's no stall warning going, but we're at a minimum control airspeed where any increase in back pressure is going to induce a stall. Okay. So we're looking good though. 3,000 feet, 150. So it's these little relationships between.
It's kind of like inverse. So you pull back a little. I mean, you give a little bit more throttle. You got to pull back a little less throttle than pitch down.
So if you're adding throttle, to maintain altitude you'll have to pitch it down, but then your airspeed is going to increase. Okay. So just little relationships, like 2,000 RPM is a good baseline because that's keeping where I want it. I'm about 60 knots, we're at 3,000 feet. And
60 knots is just about the goal?
Yeah, and if we want to make turns, we're going to make it with rudder. Very tiny bit of aileron control, but more rudder, because ailerons are not
Yeah.
effective up here. Alright, all make sense?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so to recover, you go full power. You just maintain the horizon, which is difficult with clouds, but one notch of flaps immediately. Maintain altitude.
Remove one notch of flaps.
Yeah, okay, straight away. When you get a positive rate of climb, so we're going to take one out now. Positive rate. Around 75 knots, last notch of flaps out, and then you can go back to cruise. Cruise at about 2200 RPM or so. We're back at, we're still at 3000 feet. We're still trimmed. Still looking good. Alright, your controls, man.
My controls.
Your controls, 3000 feet. I'll talk you through it. 1700 RPM initially. And just a little bit, not too much, because that's going to cause a little bit of a climb while you still got power in there. So 1700, very, very nice. Maintain heading.
Oh, I see, okay.
There you go. One notch of flaps, we're within the white arc. Very nice. Now you see that lift kind of helps you kind of maintain. Second notch of flaps, looking good.
Second notch.
So just keep that nose up a little bit, that's going to help you, there you go. Last notch of flaps at 65.
65.
Beautiful. Just maintain heading. Bring those wings level again, there you go.
Should I use rudder a little bit, or?
A little bit of rudder as well, yeah. And now you can go to 2000 RPM with this. And we'll see where we are. 2000 RPM.
Little low.
A little bit low because we're a bit slow with this, but that's fine, that's not an issue. Okay, again, we're not looking for perfection today. So your airspeed's increasing a little bit. So how would you reduce that airspeed?
Pitch up a little.
Pitch up a little bit, so you've got the relationship there. My God, these people don't shut up. Everyone with long-winded radio calls.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus, man. Alright, cool. So speed's looking good. Speed's fine. Altitude's a little bit low, but that's okay.
So should I power up?
So just a little bit, just a touch. Just a touch. You're holding heading well. It's just, you're holding heading airspeed. It's just that altitude, so it's just a little bit. Everything in slow flight is exactly as it says. It's all slow. You're never going to get anything quickly. You're never going to get a climb quickly. The only thing that you might get quickly is a descent. But so you can see it's slowly climbing back up to 3000 feet. Looking good. Now as you've increased that power, that airspeed's increased. So to be able to get that airspeed back, you've got to pitch back up, which is going to make you climb a little bit faster. But we're at 3000 feet now, so you can go back to 2000 RPM as a baseline. Yes, yes, yes. And then you hold the pitch. Now trim back so you can go hands off. Trim back, keep that nose up. Pull that nose up. Look at this guy doing a stall.
You can tell just by looking at it, it's a stall?
Yeah.
Alright, so, wow.
Aileron control's hardly there. So, altitude's gone down a little bit. Yep. Look at the RPM, it's below 2000, that's why. Give me a left turn, we'll go back to a heading of 210.
Little bit of rudder.
Little bit of rudder.
Pitching up as well so I don't lose,
Yeah. Again, we're within 100 feet, which is a pass, technically, but
not for LewDix Aviation.
Not for LewDix Aviation. Okay.
I'm gonna get it up to 3000.
Yeah. That airspeed dropped because we didn't correct with power. We corrected with the pitch for the.
So I was only pitching.
You were only pitching, exactly.
So while I was turning, I should have given a bit Right. So the plane's
exactly wants to come down.
Okay.
I'm just keeping an eye on that Cessna. He's going to cross us there.
Where's he at?
Just over that way.
Oh.
We're on his right side. Who's got the right of way?
We do.
We do, exactly. Alright, cool. Get me on 210. Get me on 210.
I don't know why. Well, maybe it's the wind. Hello. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm drifting.
It's because there's more fuel in the right side.
Oh.
So it's got a tendency.
So it's really weighing it down.
Yeah, it's weighing it down on that side. So this is kind of nose up, pitch attitude, slow flight. The whole point of doing this is so you can set yourself up and be able to understand the relationship between this stuff when we're landing as well.
Okay.
So my controls again. If we're in the landing phase, we're going to be nose low rather than nose high.
Right.
But the concepts are still the same. You're still trying to maintain an airspeed. Not necessarily altitude, but you're still trying to maintain an airspeed. So my power's back at like 1500 RPM so we can descend. And our approach speed in this is 65 knots. So I'm pitching to maintain 65 knots. It's still the same concept, pitching for airspeed, power for altitude, but it's 65 knots, nose low, and imagine we're going towards the runway.
Okay.
Right, so we got a good descent rate. Let's say I wanted to drop even quicker.
This is once we've made the runway already.
Well, not on final approach.
Okay,
oh, sorry.
Okay.
In the pattern as well, on downwind, this is the same thing. You want to maintain airspeeds. But you see, I've pulled the power back and my descent rate's gone way more, right?
Yeah. So we're dropping faster.
So we're dropping faster.
Okay.
If I wanted to slow that descent rate, I'm still at 65 knots. I'm going to increase that power. Immediately the nose wants to come up. And
So it's still the same, we're just not...
You just nose low.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you back up at 2,000 RPM. This really sets you up for coming in and doing the landings. It really teaches you that the relationship. And it also gives you the kind of confidence that if you maintain the correct speeds and the correct stuff and have that in the back of your mind, the landing's going to be fine. Alright man, your controls. Kind of maintain me on this heading for now. Just get yourself stabilised.
2500. And we've been really at 60 most of the
Yeah,
time.
60's fine for now, 60's okay. This is good. This is like if you were going in on a check ride, aim for this speed, aim for keeping the heading, keeping the altitude. Alright man, so what we're going to do, you're going to reduce the power to around 1500 or so. And as you do that, you're going to need to drop the nose, but maintaining 65 knots. Just pitch for 65 knots, nose low. So as you go nose low, the speed's going to increase a little bit.
Right, and then right there we're going to keep that.
Exactly. So if you look outside, kind of put a lot of emphasis outside as well, you'll see this picture right here is pretty much what you're looking for when we're coming into land. If you see the nose is coming up again, you'll be able to look in and see that the airspeed's going too low. So if you're keeping the nose down a little bit, push it down just a touch more, there you go. That's a nice angle for descending and coming into land. Beautiful.
Oh, no heading.
It's okay, that's alright, we're getting the concept down here. Looking good.
Alright, so I'm just mostly looking outside.
Yep. And then look back in for a second, 65 knots, looking good, beautiful. Heading's a little bit off, but it's okay. Cool man. So then, when we come to land, we're not going to do a stall, but basically what you're doing on a landing is trying to stall the plane at a safe altitude. Yeah, exactly. So what you do, you come in, once you're low enough over the runway, you go power idle. We're not gonna stall it, don't worry. Okay. And then you just bring the nose up like this. You're just trying to maintain, and bringing the nose up, Eventually it's gonna stall.
Right.
But that's all it is. That's all the transition is.
So that's when we would have basically touched down.
Yeah, that's all it is.